it is true that they have refused to go to work. The consequences are clearly stated in the law. So that will be the next way forward.
And what really are the consequences at this point? Because patients are
the
actually suffering.
For the first two lies with their employer to either terminate their employment without notice or to withhold their salaries, wages, or anything that is due them for the period within which they have failed to work and engage in this illegal strike. And then the third one lies with the commission. That is the commission to apply to the court to cite them for contempt because they have defied the court order, which says they should resume work immediately. So these are the options available.
Well, but the claim for them also is that they raised these issues with the Labour Commission over a period, but it appears that nothing was done. But you are quick to secure a court order for them to go back to work.
No, if you have an issue with the Labour Commission and there is a delay or nothing is going on, you apply to the commission. And my case was again to be, if they say nothing was going on, what does that mean? We were before the commission. At a point in time, they decided to go and have an in-house settlement or negotiation with their employers. And when they left, the next thing is for you to report to the commission that the matter is settled. The matter is not settled. So we want you to go ahead. For as long as you haven't come, the presumption of the commission is that the matter is settled. So if they couldn't settle it, what they have to do was to report to the commission, which they have failed to do. So it is not the commission's fault for which the matter may have delayed.
So how much time?
Say that nothing was done.
Okay, so how much time do they have for the law to kick in? You've outlined a number of things that could happen if they continue to defy that court order. How much time do they have for that to kick in?
Oh, the time is now. If it is established that they have really defied the court order, then the time is now.
So that's the Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission. But in an interview with Joy News, Mr. Austin Game asked for coup heads to prevail in order to prevent a total breakdown of the country's healthcare system.
Today, we have seen that even the Labour Commission step, the party on which they serve the injunction, the party is in Kumasi, settled in Kumasi alone. The rest of them say, we don't know, we are not party to that. It's Kumasi. And so we are carrying on with the action. Now they will have to go back to court and serve who? Make it nationwide. So I think that is a misstep to start with. But notwithstanding, I think that the two parties should sit down. I've heard that Parliament's Select Committee also want to step in. They should use all legitimate means. Any matter affecting health delivery people, whether they are whoever, is supposed to be handled within 72 hours. That is the law. Unfortunately, this has been allowed to fester and to stay for all this while. I challenge all of them, both parties, not just the employer, including the working leadership, that you should sit down and have a good conversation, and out of the conversation, an outcome will be acceptable to both parties, and all of us will be beneficiaries.
What do you think the Select Committee in Parliament, what do you think they can do differently compared to what the NLC has done over their period?
Well, the Labour Commission went to court, which has somehow angered some of the people. I think that was even a misstep, Under normal circumstances, in industrial relations, we don't play it in the court arena. We have a very flexible Labour Act that could help them navigate through the muddy waters and resolve their differences. Maybe his approach. I may not approach it that way, but I think a lot of effort have been put into it by the parties who are responsible. They should take further steps to bring the parties' attention to it. I've been following it keenly, to be honest with you. I know precisely what is going on. Because I followed them, I've interviewed both parties in diverse ways, and I know that there could be a way out if the leadership of the conflict resolution parties are able to get them together to talk around a table. They are all open to resolving the matter. Even though Labour Commission is right to do so, I will not choose that path, but that's what they've chosen. The Select Committee will not go to court. They will appeal to them. I think that if the parties get somebody to sit between them and facilitate the process in a mediatory, conciliatory approach, there might be a solution that will be acceptable to both parties. I have confidence in them. They should be able to do it.
Well, the PRO of the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital, Kwame Frimpong, says the hospital is still resorting to the use of private laboratories as the scientists have refused to show up for work today.
They are sent us back to us. I'm unable to make any official comments on it because management is about to meet, and I'm very sure to come up with discussion. Arrangements that we put in place at the moment, we are sending our samples to public and private labs for them to be run as a way of mitigating the impact of the strike. So we are doing this for the inpatients, especially those are the emergency centers, after the emergency center, pediatric emergency unit, and then at the MBU. For the time being, just working by it requires extra efforts because now you now have to collect all the samples and then send them outside, and that's quite with regards to the arrangements.
So that's the PRO of the Konfanoti Teaching Hospital, Kwame Frimpong there. But Joy News has secured a copy of a letter from Parliament Health Committee inviting the two health groups and other stakeholders to a meeting in a bid to address the situation. Enes of the Health Desk, Enes Mino, joins us in the studio with a copy of that letter. Enes, what are the details?
So this letter is written by the Assistant Clerk to the Health Committee on behalf of the Chairman of the committee, and I'll read from the second paragraph. It says, the committee is seized with information that attempts by the Ministry of Health to get the laboratory scientists resume work proved futile. Is also aware that the GMLS, that's the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, did not comply with the interlocutory injunction secured from the High Court by the National Labour Commission. The Parliamentary Select Committee on Health has taken note of the fact that patients, particularly those who require laboratory tests, have been left stranded due to the protests by the Medical Association, the Medical Laboratory Scientists, which has now escalated into an impasse between the GMA and the GAMLS. The Health Committee, per its mandate to deal with all health matters in the country generally, deems it necessary to intervene as a matter of urgency to help resolve the matter in order to save the lives of patients. Now, a meeting has therefore been scheduled for Tuesday, the 1st of June, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. at Parliament House to hold discussions on the matter with officials of the Health Ministry and the Labour Commission. I am directed by the Honourable Chairman of the committee to invite the Honourable Minister, the Chief Director, the Director of Policy Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, the Director of Human Resource at the Ministry of Health. I'm also directed by the Honourable Chairman to kindly request the Ministry to extend an invitation to the management and representative of the teaching hospitals, the Ghana Medical Association, the Society of Laboratory Physicians Ghana, the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, that's the Society of Medical Laboratory Managers Ghana, the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, and the College of Physicians and Surgeons. The committee will be grateful to have the meeting facilitated by the Ministry of Health.
Well, so that's a copy of that letter inviting all stakeholders to a meeting by the Parliamentary Select Committee in Parliament tomorrow. But we've been joined on the phone by the General Secretary of the Laboratory, Medical Laboratory Scientists, Solomon Kwashi. We're grateful for your time here on Newsnight, sir.
Grateful for the opportunity.
Well, Mr. Kwashi, will you be at this meeting called by the Health Committee in Parliament?
Yes, I think the Health Committee is a respectful committee of Parliament. We can't disappoint them. And we'll be there tomorrow to listen to them.
In the meantime, there is a court order. Why haven't you respected that court order?
Okay, so this afternoon we procured the court order, and the order is directed at the Konfanoti Teaching Hospital chapter of our association. As national leadership, we are working with them to see how we can encourage our members to respect the order of the court.
But I'm curious, you've received that court order. It came on Friday, but it's surprising that you're receiving it today. But what really is the action then? Because we are told that your members are still on strike. Are they resuming work? When exactly will that happen?
So our members are law-abiding. We are studying the order and will comply accordingly.
Law-abiding, what are you studying? You've been told clearly that go back to work. Isn't that what the court order says?
So I still insist that we procured the court order this afternoon. We'll look at it and we are taking the necessary action.
Immediate order? Was it not an immediate order for you to go back to work?
I hope you know it has to go through processes. I'm sure the chapter went through processes for this action to take place. Leadership is working with them for the issues to be resolved. Let's have confidence in leadership.
I'm wondering what processes it will go through, because this is an order from the court. This is not from management of the Konfanoti Teaching Hospital. So what processes would it go through, Mr. Kwashi?
So they are meeting on the I just followed up with them. They are meeting on it, and they will take action appropriately.
Hearing from the National Labour Commission, you risk being cited for contempt of court. Also, worst case scenario, your members being sacked if they do not go back to work. Are you aware of that?
That is something we'll take up. I think I said our members are law abiding. We will study the order of the court. We procured it this afternoon and will comply accordingly.
But as you speak, your members are still on strike.
I can't confirm that.
But we have evidence on the ground in Kumasi at CAF that they were not at work.
So I can't confirm. I know the order is directed at the Konfanoti chapter. This strike has been called at various levels of association. So I can't speak to most of the issues with regards to the Konfanoti chapter.
Would they go to work tomorrow?
Let's be hopeful.
Thank you very much. And that's the General Secretary of the Laboratory Sciences, the Medical Laboratory Sciences Association, Solomon Kwashi. We're hoping to hear from the Ghana Medical Association as well. Yesterday, they issued a 7-point resolution after an emergency meeting in Koforidua. Amongst others, they say that they're going to, if push comes to shove, they will stop recognizing lab results that are not assigned by lab physicians. We have Dr. Titus Bay, you join us?
We don't seem to have him yet. When we do, we'll bring that to you on the back of the communique that the GMA issued. But there's some news just coming in. There's an accident on the N1, and 2 people possibly may have lost their lives as a result of this. There's an eyewitness on the ground we can speak to now. Thank you, sir, for your time here on Newsnight. So what really happened? Hello? We'll try and get that, bring that to you, but the news is that a major accident on the N1 may have led to the loss of 2 lives, and this has led to a major traffic situation on that particular stretch. We'll bring that to you shortly. We can go back to the scene. Let's speak to an eyewitness who is on the ground for us. Thank you very much. What really is happening? What caused this accident?
Hello, Evan.
Yes. What's the situation where you are?
Okay, so I'm standing right at Noga Hill Hotel at Chimota. That is facing the Achimota Forest, as it were, as if you are coming from Accra Mall. And there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of traffic here, but the policemen are also here and directing traffic. What actually I'm told happened is that a motorbiker and a passenger on the bike were heading in the direction of the Achimota Forest, but behind them were 2 articulator trucks. And they managed, what they noticed was that the trucks were driving very fast, and so the motorbiker managed to be in between an Uber car and one of the trucks. But unfortunately, the truck knocked them, and it drove over one, and then the other gentleman fell in another lane, and another truck drove over him. Both trucks have sped off and are gone, and the bodies of the persons feared dead are still on the streets with some neem leaves over them, and that is the situation here. I have an eyewitness. He actually witnessed this, and I would like you to talk with him as well.
But just before we speak to the eyewitness, is there an ambulance at the scene? The first respondents arrived at the scene at all to possibly try and see if they can save these lives.
Currently, there's only the police here directing traffic. No ambulances. Persons feared dead are still lying on the street with neem leaves covered over their bodies.
I can imagine this may have caused quite a bit of vehicular traffic in this area.
Yeah, a lot of traffic, terrible traffic.
And you say the vehicles that may have caused this accident have fled the scene?
Yes, they've left the scene. They didn't stop. They drove away.
The police are on the scene, you say, directing traffic right now.
Yes, the police are there. Six of them are here.
Is there an indication that these vehicles may have been pursued at all?
No. Apparently the police were in a private vehicle, and so the private person stopped for them and they came out. So these trucks have not been pursued.
Just for clarity again, where exactly on the N1 did this happen?
Right beside Noga Hill Hotel. The lane facing Atmota Forest Interchange.
Thank you very much, Elom. Elom is on the scene for us tonight on this very tragic story of two people lying in the middle of the road with neem trees on them. The fear is that they may have already died as a result of this accident, and we don't have paramedics at the scene yet, as we've just heard him explain, as they lie, possibly lifeless, with the drivers possibly at the heart of this tragedy already fleeing the scene. If you are around that particular stretch, you want to join us, please send us a WhatsApp 055-111-1997. What do you see in this particular place? Share with us.
I'll take you back to our earlier story, though, that turf war between the laboratory medical scientists and medical physicians, I should say. And we have Dr. Titus Bayo. I was telling you about that resolution that was put out by the Ghana Medical Association, and we know that there will be a meeting amongst all the stakeholders with the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health. And Dr. Titus Bayo, Deputy General Secretary of the GMA, joins us on the line. We're grateful for your time here tonight. So we see that, amongst others, you're saying that you will not recognize lab results from certified lab physicians that are not certified by lab physicians. How exactly do you mean?
Good evening, Emefa. Good evening to Evans and to our listeners. I think that is a statement. It's not a definitive statement that we will not recognize. We say that if these things are not resolved well, at some point we would not recognize laboratory results that have not been certified. So it is something that is subject to several interpretations, but we expect that there should be harmony. We should work together to get the best results for our patients. In some particular type of results, we expect that when the technical work has been done by laboratory scientists, the clinical pathologist will translate that into a result that is commensurate with the patient's clinical condition and guide us in the management.
In all this, the major concern for everyone who's been following this, in fact, some people are fatigued when it comes to this particular issue. We know that there will be a stakeholders meeting tomorrow. The GMA goes into this meeting with these 7 resolutions. Is that what it is?
Yes, this is the resolution of the National Council of the GMA, and we'll have to abide by it. And we are going into this meeting tomorrow with these resolutions. As far as the GMA is concerned, there is a very simplistic solution to this. It's a matter of a dialogue. It's a matter of coming down to sit down and create a safe working space for everyone and following international best practice. If you look at our resolutions that have been put out here, just obeying what is international best practice for our patients will solve all the things we have said. So I don't think it's like GMA has taken an entrenched position. No. All GMA is saying is that laboratory space, like any other hospital space, should be available to all persons so trained, qualified, and certified to practice. And I think this is not too much to ask for. An example was what I think Justice gave Dr. Justice Youngson gave on your platform. I'm an obstetrician. I work in the labor ward. I am regulated by the Medical and Dental Council. I am on their specialist register as an obstetrician. In that same space, we have midwives who are regulated by the Nurses and Midwifery Council. They are licensed to do that, but we all work there. And there's no problem. Why can't that be in the lab? So I think the position of the GMA on this is pretty clear.
Well, we'll be monitoring that particular meeting tomorrow. We're grateful for your time. That's the Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Titus Bayu.
You're still listening to Newsnight on Joy 99.7 FM. Now, let's go to issues relating to illegal mining and a war against Galamsey. We're hearing tonight from the Eastern Regional Security Council. And there's a warning there that individuals whose excavators have been banned as part of Operation Halt will be jailed for their involvement in illegal mining. And that's according to the chairman of the Regional Security Council, Seth Champon.
Now, he assures that no MPP member will be shielded as investigations begin to bring to book individuals allegedly involved. Military personnel working to stop illegal mining activities burned down excavators in the region belonging to Extra Gold, which is run by NPP women's organizer Kate Jimfua. Several other excavators have also been burned down in the Ashanti and Western regions. The Seth Champon tells Joy News destruction of equipment will not be the end of the fight.
We are going after the corporates who are involved in illegal mining seriously, because when you delve into the subject, you come to realize that all and most of the corporates are not indigenous. And that is another level of concern to us that we are picking intelligence on, and we have evidence to support that, and we are really fighting it. The fight will not stop. The fight will continue.
What's the guarantee that this is not a 9-day one?
Thank you very much. If this was anything to go by, Madam Kate Jimfua, you mentioned, investigations are still ongoing as to the veracity and the authenticity of the actions. That notwithstanding, she's our own. If we were to behave in a 9-day wonder, we would not have touched her. The operatives would not have touched her. But this tells you the seriousness with which the Commander-in-Chief's orders are being noted. Any person who falls within the perimeters and the orders offered by the Commander-in-Chief in respect of the clear instructions given by him through his Minister for Lands and Natural Resources will certainly be touched. The determination is going beyond just burning excavators. Pretty soon you see people being prosecuted and people will be put behind bars. This is a war. Ghana is at war with people who wants to destroy public property and our national asset.
And there is a guarantee that even these top officials who are leading members of your party, they will be dealt with as well.
Nobody is above the law under His Excellency the President's command. He himself has subjected his office to test.
Now, news fell over the weekend. The Attorney General, Godfrey Abuadame, disclosed that already about 45 prosecutions are ongoing.
There's 5 cases involving 45 persons.
Okay.
10 of whom are Chinese.
Okay.
So I think that must be placed on record. The Republic versus George Antian to one others, which is the one involving the alleged Nazareti operatives.
Okay.
Itself even has 32 accused persons. And I believe that at this point it's clear that it is not actually security operatives.
Okay.
And then there's the Republic versus Yang Huan and 2 others. There is also the Republic versus Wei and Min. And then the Republic versus Yuhan. So the fundamental point is that yes, prosecution is being undertaken previously, and the process is being followed. There's also the Subin one also involving another Chinese, via Marji. So that's it. And then secondly, I would also like to make a point about...
Now, Godfrey, if you can hold on quickly for me. You talk about the prosecutions. You say 45 individuals,
yes.
10 are Chinese.
Yes.
And all of these prosecutions are a result of a 2021 arrests.
Yes.
Great.
Yes,
now,
the Republic versus Wei was commenced on 14th May.
Right.
And
Okay.
then Republic versus Wei Min and another also on 19th May.
So that's the update on prosecution so far when it comes to the Operation Halt activities. That's the Attorney General, Godfred Yeboadame, on Newsfile. It's time for business, and George Wiafe is here with the very latest. Hello, George.
Hi, Emefa, and coming up in business, Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison attributes the record policy rate cut to pick up in economic activities, but expressed worry over the level of credit extension to businesses in the country. And we'll tell you one of the main reasons that influenced ExxonMobil's exit from Ghana and what should be the next line of action for government. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business, Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one stop shop for all your office essentials, and Allianz Life.
Hello, please, am I speaking to Miss Joanna Kuma?
Yes, please.
My name is Philip and I'm calling from MTN. Someone has just sent you money and we will need you to enter your PIN number so that we can put the money in your account.
Hey,
oh dadawo. MTN will never ask you for your PIN. Never reveal your PIN to anyone under any circumstances. And if you are not sure, always check the number. MTN will only call you with a dedicated number, 0244 300,000. Stay safe, stay vigilant. We are good together everywhere you go.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kingdom Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first point of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Osu Akwaje, or our office near the Osu Stadium. We're also in Tema Community 1, opposite Olam SHS, Kumasi KNUST campus, UCC Cape Coast, and now at the Marina Mall, Airport City. Or call us 0302 764101, 764209, or 762792. Visit our website www.kingdomgh.com.
Allianz, insurance since 1890. At Allianz Life Ghana, we have a wide range of life insurance packages to suit all pockets, from individuals, groups, associations, and businesses. We cover your employees, your funerals, pensions, children's education, and your future. Call us on 0302-267-892 or visit our website www.allianz-gh.com for more inquiries. Allianz Life, we secure your future.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, pick up in economic activities and the projected rebound of the economy in the coming month influence the policy rate cut. That's according to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison. Now, this was after he announced the historic cut in their policy rate, that is the rate at which they lend to commercial banks, to 13.5%. Earlier on, I put together this report. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, during the press conference noted that he doesn't expect any hike in transport and utility tariffs to impact negatively on inflation rate going forward, hence the decision to cut the policy rate.
The recent increases in petroleum prices and all of these administered price changes that we have seen will not necessarily translate into inflation. If you have the appropriate monetary policy conditions, we think that the conditions are relatively tight. And you need these kinds of relative price adjustments, to propagate themselves into inflation. They themselves does not mean that you have higher inflation.
Dr. Anderson was, however, worried about the not-so-good credit extension to businesses over the past month.
The banks have an incentive to put their resources into government paper. Obviously, we would have wished that they would do otherwise. And we are going to be working with them to gradually sort of move away from the over-reliance on the investments in government paper. It would have to be done gradually.
On the total debt stock hitting 305 billion Ghana cedis, this is what the governor had to say.
On debt to GDP, it's probably being overflowed. There are so many ways in which you can assess, the sustainability of the debt situation in Ghana. I mean, you can look at some other indicators.
The governor disclosed that the receiver appointed to liquidate some of the commercial banks and special deposit-taking institutions has been able to recover 1.7 billion Ghana cedis out of the expected 10 billion Ghana cedis. It has also been able to pay 6.5 billion Ghana cedis to depositors of these special deposit-taking institutions. The governor used the meeting to pay tribute to former governor Dr. Paul Akwa over his role in the establishment of the Monetary Policy Committee and the inflation targeting framework. Let's get some reactions on this historic policy rate cut. And meanwhile, banking consultant Donoto Champon tells Joy Business he expects the market to respond within the next 2 months.
We have a free market economy, which means competition, which is the invisible hand, will force these banks to accede to that reduction. Because now they are all stashed with money, looking for homes for those money. And if it's partly because interest rates are high, people are not coming. All you need is one of them to go out of line and offer a cheap loan. And you see that everybody will be trooping there, and then it will force the others to follow suit. So I think this time round, judging by the state of the economy, the transmission rate may be faster than we've seen in time past.
Within the next 2 months, you should expect something to happen?
Well, my prediction is that within 2 to 3 months, if competition sets in, you will see the transmission rate here.
And for you, should businesses be excited by this?
They should be overjoyed about this because it's the reduction in interest rate, which is defined as the cost of money, the cost of using other people's money, is what drives businesses. Without money, you cannot manufacture. Without money, you cannot even buy and sell. And therefore, if the rate at which you are going to take somebody's money to invest in your activity has come down, then it means it's an encouragement for you to borrow and do your business activity.
Donoto Champon is a banking consultant. Now, ExxonMobil's exit from Ghana has to do with it not getting enough deposits to warrant the magnitude of drillings and commercial production that it has actually estimated. The U.S. oil giant recently communicated to its partners on the field and government of their exit because of some concerns. Now, Joy Businesses learned that they were also forced to move because they were actually having some concerns with shareholders who were pushing for more cleaner exploration going forward. And therefore, they thought that it wasn't worth actually going ahead to explore in Ghana, looking at the deposits that they have. Sources say government may now have to look for a smaller oil exploration firm to take over their field. And we'll be getting you more details from other industry stakeholders about what this could mean for the oil industry in Ghana. Now let's still stay in the industry because Aker Energy has begun work on this back and field of the West Cape 3 points to gather fresh data on oil deposits and the subsea infrastructure. To this end, Aker Energy has appointed Fego Ghana to carry out scouting works, which will be completed by the end of next month. Now, this will then guide its plan of development for the block, which will be submitted to government by the end of this year. Upon completion of this could kickstart the process for first oil. So while some are going out events, there's another one that is taking steps to actually ensure that they actually begin exploration in Ghana. And it's very, very interesting looking at what is happening in the industry.
Absolutely, George.
And that's all for Business on Newsnight.
Thank you very much, George. Let's do some of your messages that you've sent in via WhatsApp on 05511119997. Those of you watching on Facebook, I'm sure you can see what Evans is doing to me in the studios. But we'll take a quick break. We're right back.
55, 78, 58, 70. Hey, Charlie. My network is really killing me. I have to pay my uncle's workers via mobile money, but the charges alone, it's about 380 cedis.
Charges alone just to send money? That's $10 of cement already, my guy.
Listen, bro, you can save money on charges if you move to Vodafone Cash now. Vodafone Cash? But my network is...
Hey, sending money on that your network, you pay. Sending money on your network to other networks, you pay. But guess what? Sending money on Vodafone Cash is free. Sending money on Vodafone Cash to all other networks is also absolutely free. No charges at all on Vodafone Cash. So tell me, what are you still doing on that your network? Massa, look sharp, then move to Vodafone Cash.
Hey, make a change the SIM right now.
Yeah, sending money on Vodafone Cash to all other networks is now absolutely free.
Send unlimited amounts of money as many times as you like for free.
Just dial *110# now to send money.
Joy 99.7 FM.
And you're live on Newsnight, and a few of your messages coming through. This one says, always like Mr. Kabonu are the reason this country is still not where it's supposed to be. I feel, he says he feels ashamed listening to him. And Nagra President, really, God help us, he says. Another one says, Angel Kabonu is on point. Teachers should concern themselves with teaching and leave the students to enjoy their human rights.
Simplicity, he adds. Mark of Suhum says, if we are not careful, the next time they would want to smoke Indian hemp in the name of human rights, notwithstanding the rules in the school. God save Ghana, he says. Alfonso in Kumasi says, it is highly disappointing, shameful for these professional doctors and lab scientists to be acting this way. They should bear in mind that their work is not an individual one.
But Chairman in Tamale says, the lab guys have the right to embark on the strike, and if they indeed do not have an ulterior motive, they must respect the court order by calling off their action.
Okay, so you've been asking those on the road to send us messages on what they see regarding the accident reported on. Akron sends one. He says, I just got out of the terrible traffic. The situation is very chaotic. I'm wondering how the police aren't moving the dead bodies away to allow the traffic flow whilst they wait for the ambulance. This is Russia. Daniel sends that one.
Okay, another one says, please, there is intense traffic from Jolu traffic light heading to La Paz, of course. We have been in traffic for close to 2 hours. The cars are not moving. Please, we need the assistance of the MTTU. And we reported here is because there's been a major accident. 2 people are maybe feared dead, and the bodies are feared to still be lying in the middle of the road, and that may be causing the traffic. And if the emergency services have heard this, they should rush to the scene and help out. A final one says, it's rather unfortunate this happened. The same thing happened earlier this morning on the Kolebu Accra Road. The rider died instantly, and the lady was seriously injured. These motor riders should take their time on the road.
You're still listening to Newsnight here on Joy 99.7 FM. We turn our attention to other stories now. And an online petition to stop President Akufo-Addo hiring luxury jets for international travel has garnered over 1,200 signatures.
Well, the petition, which was set up in less than 24 hours, wants the president to use the Ghana Air Force Falcon 900 EX jet for his foreign travels instead. Ranking member on the Parliament Foreign Affairs Committee, Samokujutra Blakwa, last week filed an urgent question in Parliament demanding that the government explains why the president did not use a presidential aircraft for his recent travel.
Now, he claimed that the president spent 2 million cedis in flight costs during his 9-day visit to France, Belgium, South Africa, and back to the country. I've been going through the reasons why some persons signed the online petition.
What did you find?
So, Tireni Gain says, signing because we need money to construct a classroom block for my village. £15,000 can do that for my people. There's another one. Saeed Ahmed Toure says, signing because we need money to construct a classroom block for my village. And Samo, so she says, because our taxes must be used sensibly. Common shares for school children we cannot provide. You cannot increase taxes only to spend same on your comfort. He should learn from the late Magufuli of Tanzania. Moses Ataja says we can't keep borrowing for flashy lifestyle. Ghanaians are suffering.
Okay, let's get a quick update on this urgent question that was filed last week. Mr. Samuel Okujuta Blakwa joins us on the telephone line right now. Mr. Blakwa, is there an indication when this question will be heard?
Well, good evening, Evans. The indication I have is that the question has moved from the clerk's office to the Right Honourable Speaker's office. You do know that Standing Order 64.2 stipulates that notice of intention to ask a question shall be given by delivery by delivery of the question in writing at the office of the clerk, the table office, which is what I did, on a day not later than 10 sitting days, exclusive of any Saturday and Sunday or public holiday before the day on which the sitting commences, at which it is proposed to ask the question. So I have followed the procedure according to our standing orders. I delivered it to the clerk at table, and we're waiting on the speaker to admit. It is important to stress that standing order 66(1), it says that Mr. Speaker shall be the sole judge of the admissibility of a question, the sole judge. So it is entirely in the bosom of the Speaker. He's the only official of the House, and in this case, the head of the legislative organ who admits this question. So we have 10 days. I think that the count will start the day you submitted it to the clerk at table, which is the 28th of May, is when I submitted it. So I think we have some 7 days more if the standing orders will be adhered to strictly for the defense minister to respond to this question.
And this is directed at the defense minister, but some have suggested that because this was a private charter, it may not necessarily be the right forum for answering this question, most likely the Foreign Affairs Minister. What do you say to that?
I will say that those who say that have not seen my question. My question is specific, first of all, to find out why the president failed to use the Falcon EXE, the presidential jet, because I do know that it is in very good shape. It's in pristine condition. Indeed, 5 days prior to the president traveling to France, the president had used the aircraft to Uganda. Claims that he had been advised not to use the aircraft for long distances beyond 5 hours cannot be true, because Accra to Uganda is 5 hours and 4 minutes. The checks I have conducted, and he did spend 5 hours and 4 minutes in the air, so it goes beyond 5 minutes. I do know the Falcon flies 8 hours non-stop before you need to refuel. And the president returned from the Entebbe airport in Uganda on the 12th. So just 4 days before he embarked on this rather lavish travel, he had used the Falcon. And so I know on authority that the Falcon is in good shape.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. That's Samuel Okudeta Blakwa there, who has filed this urgent question. I want to quickly bring in the Deputy Majority Leader, Mr. Alexander Fenyo-Marking, who joins us on the telephone line right now. Mr. Fenyo-Marking, this urgent question has been filed. Mr. Okudeta expecting that it will be heard as soon as possible. What's your own reaction to this?
Well, first of all, until a question is admitted, same cannot be a subject of the discussion. Do that as it may. My colleague claims to file a question. I would have thought that for purpose of fairness, he would allow his question to be admitted, and then the appropriate response from the relevant agency will be brought to Parliament. But for him to be going round, trying to create a certain impression even before his question is admitted. It's quite unfortunate. You may recall a similar thing occurred when he wrote a letter to Speaker purporting to have resigned from appointment committee without waiting for the Speaker's response. It was all over in the media. So I think appropriately we should first of all wait on the Speaker whether the question is even admissible. Then we can take it up from there. But to be frank with you, I don't think that he has any good basis for describing official travel by the president as being lavish.
Okay.
Because I'm not too sure that he has access to receipts of payment made and what the basis of his comparison and what is making him come to a certain conclusion.
Yeah.
If it's politics as usual, then I won't take it away.
And I guess we'll get to know very shortly in detail if indeed it's lavish or not once the minister is before Parliament to answer the questions and the Speaker admits it. Let's do sports now. And Gary Al Smith is here with details. Hello, Gary.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. So you must have heard about Naomi Osaka and her issues with the French Open organizers.
He doesn't want to address the press and do press conferences?
Because of her mental state and all that. Now she has withdrawn.
From the tournament?
From the French Open. Following the bitter fallout from her decision to boycott all media activity. So the background is that on Sunday, the former world number one was warned she could be thrown out of the competition if she continues to boycott post-match news conferences at the tournament. And she's written a statement on social media. She says, the best thing for the tournament, the other players and my well-being is that I withdraw so that everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis as well. She was also fined, remember, $15,000 by Grand Slam organizers for failing to attend a news conference following her first round win. So earlier this week, the four-time Grand Slam champion said she would not face the press during the French Open, citing health reasons. And so it's opened a can of worms about whether, as media people, we demand too much of, because she believes that once she has just finished a game and she's emotionally charged and high, or she has been defeated, she's not obliged. She shouldn't be forced to do interviews like that. Anyway, quick news. Over the weekend, news emerged that fast-rising Ghana football star Apawu Issahaku has signed for Liverpool in a deal worth £1.5 million. That was what the press report said. But it turns out that that is not quite the case. Here is Liverpool Echo's chief Liverpool writer, Ian Doyle, with more.
Despite reports over the weekend, Liverpool are not in the running to sign highly rated Ghana teenager Abdul Fatawu Issahaku this summer. It was claimed over the weekend in Ghana the Reds had stolen a march in the race to sign the 17-year-old. Liverpool was said to have beaten Bundesliga side Bayer Leverkusen to the attacking midfielder's signature. The Echo understands the Reds are not pursuing a deal for the teenager, though, at present. In any case, employment rules now in place in the UK mean Liverpool would be unable to sign the player until he turns 18 next March. Sporting Lisbon and Villarreal are now being linked with the Steadfast FC youngster who shot to prominence when named player of the tournament after helping Ghana win the Africa Under-21s Cup of Nations earlier this year. The teenager subsequently earned his first call-up to the national team for their qualifying matches for the Africa Cup of Nations in March.
Right, so the question continues. Where is Apawu Issahaku going? We hope for the best. We remember the stories of Dominique Dia and Daniel Opari and the rest. We really hope that it doesn't happen to the
hope that one turns you anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only prayer. I mean, that's what happens with the others. They go and they completely fall off the grader.
Yeah.
Okay. Gary, thank you very much. Now, 1 in 3 babies sent to the neonatal intensive care unit of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital after they are born dies. That's the startling statistics from the hospital officials who blame the situation on limited space and lack of critical equipment. Sekwame Boateng has been spending some time at the teaching hospital and now reports.
Problems of the facility start from the very structure in which the unit is.
The NICU was carved out of the pediatric ward. We are using 4 of the side wards that were supposed to be part of the pediatric ward as a NICU. So imagine a side ward that contained 1 person now taking about 10 babies in that small room. Just imagine.
Doctors and nurses have to deal with congestion on a daily basis. Dr. Florence Brown is a pediatric specialist at the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital.
Bumper to bumper, we are doing 26 babies, where cots are next to each other. That's our maximum capacity. Last week, I think we went to 30. So when you come in, we leave you on the radiant warmer for a while. If there's no space, that means you have to lie on the radiant warmer for more than 24 hours.
Between 60 and 100 newborn babies with conditions are admitted here every month. Some of the sick babies here are treated and kept in their cots on the already congested corridors in this small space. That should not be the case, as emphasized by the nursing head at the unit, Efua Atakra.
We don't have enough space in the rooms to put them in the rooms, so we put them on the corridor and then a nurse takes care of them there.
That's the nursing head at the neonatal intensive care unit of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, Efua Atakra, ending that report by Seth Kwame Boateng.
Well, and there is unbridled joy in the green camp of Prempeh College, which has just been crowned winners of the maiden edition of the ABSA Ashanti Regional Championship. The four-time national champions have defended their reputation as the most successful Ashanti Regional school in the competition by beating Opokuwari Senior High School and Kumasi Secondary Technical School at the end of what is easily the most exciting grand finale in any region this year. Now, they had one goal to win the trophy, and they have, like the seniors that they are, listened to the mood in the auditorium after they answered their last riddle.
Prempeh College, back. Thank you.
This is delightful, absolutely thrilling, ecstatic, jubilant scenes in the auditorium here at Prempeh College. Well, the boys in the green camp have been crowned champions of the maiden edition of the ABSA Ashanti Regional Tournament.
And that was the situation.
As I say, penny the penny.
And elsewhere, at the end of the 4-round of contest, it was a correct answer to a tiebreaker question that earned them a place at the main quiz in October. And meanwhile, St. Rose's failed to qualify after Ghana Senior High School beat them and 3 others to qualify on the first day of the Eastern Region qualification contest. I'm talking about Krubu girls. And that's how we wrap up tonight's edition of Newsnight. We'll talk about myjournalline.com and Achimoto School ordered to admit Rastafarian students. That's the top story.
Also on the page, Blackwa others sign online petition to stop Akufo-Addo's extravagant foreign travels. Police hunt for ritualists who aided couple to bury their 2-year-old son alive. Also, DSP Azugu jubilated upon hearing news of his removal from national security. You want to read all that and more on myjournalline.com. And
that's my opinion with Anansa Kwao is up next. We want work, we want money. I am Emefa Apawu.
My name is Mensah.